Hey folks, another update on the street rod. Not a lot of progress today. I ended up with a bad switch on my Powcon welder, so I ended up wasting 2 hours tearing that down and finding a switch for it and repairing that, so that's back up and running. But hey, at least I know why it's been finicky now. One of the sides of the two-pole switch was bad, so it was randomly cutting in and out on me while I was welding. So the fun of 40-year-old equipment. But anyways, I did get my the last pieces of the inner wheel wells cut and starting to fit those. And then I got my hardtail extended, so that was short like this one, and I added 6 inches to it, and then got it attached to the car. So that finally gives me the back end of the car that I can start building my quarters off of for the boat tail. So I've been debating whether that should have been taller or not, but we're still dealing with that fact that in order to follow the lines of the car, there's our height. I'm actually about a ½ inch high from the back of the car, but since I may or may not leave the wing on there and the deck lid adds some height and the glass has a bubble to it and that, it'll be fine. But had I made it any higher, we would have lost that aesthetic of the sleek back. But anyways, my hardtail is in place, which will make setting up the quarters and doing the rest of that easier. And then you can see my clearance with the bigger tires on there. Those are the 265 75s, which are wider. They're a 9-inch wide tread, and the tires that I'm actually going to run on here are going to be 6-inch wide or 7-inch wide tread. So they won't fill the wheel wells quite as much as this one does, but like I said before, you always want to use the largest possible thing that you're going to possibly end up needing to use in there over the next 20 years. These 265 75 tires are one of the most common tires in the world for trucks, other than 245 75s. So having the clearance to be able to run one of those, if I happen to blow a tire on this thing or a couple of tires or whatever, and have to buy used tires at a truck stop or something, having the clearance to be able to do that if it's going to be a travel car, which is my basic plan with it, is going to be important. So while it might not be what I'm going to run on it daily, I have to be able to fit that in there in an emergency. So it's one of those things of planning ahead. That's one of the problems I see all the time with these 24-inch wheels on a car that they plan on dailying, is if you've got a tire that you need to mail order and wait 6 weeks to get, that car isn't going to get driven a whole lot if you start having tire problems. So, but maybe that's a different story in the middle of California, where you've got a lot of donk shops or whatever you want to say that keep that stuff on hand. But in the middle of Minnesota, if you're not in Minneapolis, good luck finding a 24-inch sport tire somewhere. But anyways, enough rambling about other people's problems. This is what I've gotten done for progress so far today, is getting those inner wheel wells cut and fitted, and getting my hardtail in place and fixing a welder. So the joys of street rodding, I think I'm at right around 140 hours into this thing now. If you don't count the repairs on the welder and repairs on some of the other equipment that I've had to do. So the hours are racking up, and we're still nowhere near drivable. So like I've said before, if you're paying shop rate on that, you can kind of see where you'd be at for money. If a shop has 3 people working on your car constant for 4 or 5 weeks, you're gonna rack up a whole lot of labor on that thing. And there's a whole lot of labor that shops don't bother charging for that they really should. When you get into some of these projects, the shops start donating a lot of labor for some of the more persnickety stuff, or for the go-get-me's of, oh, I need to grab this piece of steel, or I need to run and get these bolts from the hardware store. A lot of that stuff doesn't get charged. And so even at a $60,000 build, there was probably $20,000 or $10,000 worth of labor that was donated on that type of build, because you just can't bill for everything that ends up going into these things. Anyways, thanks for watching. This was our update. I don't know where we are, somewhere I believe at 40 now, but I'll double check that when I put the number up. So the quantity of videos on this thing are adding up. Thanks for watching. Like and share, blah blah blah. And if you need skid steer attachments, you know where to get them, from the street rod shop apparently. Anyways, thanks for watching, folks.